That's it. Like we stole those players.
Yeah.
We stole those players already from TRC, from DNA. We stole them, and naturally, or maybe not naturally, but TRC was implied that they were allied with VK, right? So whenever VK was there on the server, we would play with VK.
Political
Now
things.
Yeah.
Political things, maybe. Hello everybody, this is Deco here. Today I'm with a great player that it's in the community of BCMP for a longer period of time. For me it's a pleasure to be with you. Somebody that I admire when I was younger, as I said to him privately. When I was younger in the community, it's Krystianoo. He's been my teammate before he left the community, and now he's back, and I will just be talking with him. How are you, Krystianoo?
Hey, go on. It's Deco. Sorry. It's also a pleasure to be here. I mean, it's an honor to get invited to stuff like this because it shows you somebody cares. I mean, we'll get to it in specifics, but I'm doing well. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. How have you been all these years since you left the game?
Shit. So last time I played, I think it was Vice War 9 that we did in 2020. And shortly after Vice War 9, we got VCDC, right? I think that's what happened.
Yes.
Yeah, and I remember I was playing VCDC, and I was in group stage with that motherfucker Klaus from Argonaut, and he didn't want to play the match. So, I mean, he was avoiding me. But shortly after, I had to go abroad, outside of the country, so I couldn't finish. And after that time, I pretty much died out, so I left. So it's been 4 years.
Yes, 4 years.
Shit, I gotta say, it's been... so many changes have happened since then, in my life. Like, I've switched cities, I've switched bitches, I've switched weapons. So a lot has changed. And
a common Polski life, maybe.
Sorry, what?
A common Polski life, I mean.
Polski, yeah.
So, which are the best moments that you remember so far since you play BCMP? I mean, how many years has happened from the start of your career on BCMP?
Right. So when I first played that shit, I think it was around 2009, 2010, right? Yeah. But that was when, like, you're still a kid, you're not really conscious of. I don't even remember it that well, but I remember I was playing it with my neighbor who was also around my age, and we were playing. I remember it was at the time where there was the server XE.
Yeah. And
they had like 3 servers, I think, 1 for each region. Because later you only had XE European, but I think at that time they still had XE American, and another one. So yeah, that was that. It was very brief, but then I kind of forgot about the game.
Yeah, I mean,
and I moved back. Yep.
Since in that moment, 0.3 was the peak of BCMP. It was more than 200 players playing at the same time, always.
In 2010?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, probably, if you say so, right? I was so young and dumb, I barely could speak English, so I didn't check the numbers. So, but my actual, career, if we're gonna call it, that shit starts 2013, where for some reason I was like, hey, I remember I used to play this game. Let me check if this shit exists or if it's just like a fake memory, But I checked it out, and that's how I came back. So, to answer that question, favorite moments.
That's the story that I think every player from BCMP, how it started. Like, they just, in some dream or something, they think, Vice City has a multiplayer, why... I mean, San Andreas has a multiplayer. Why Vice City won't have it? And people just find for it, and they start playing. I think that's how every one of us started playing this game.
Yeah, then it's natural selection. If you're batshit crazy enough to stay in the game after you see how broken the multiplayer is, and the ones that are here, we passed or we failed. But yeah.
And I think also about that is like many of the players that don't naturally speak English, they start playing and just start talking with people. Most of the Asian players from Pakistan, India, most of them.
Oh yeah, Spanish people too, and me as well, right? I mean, we'll probably talk about it later as well, but the impact, even though it might sound funny, the impact that the game had on me as a as a as a person, and the skills that I gained here,
of course,
communication skills, and the way to handle conflict and so on, and the ability to speak English, or the ability to well, not the ability, but finding out so much about different cultures, right? Like I know Mama Huevo,
totally.
I wouldn't know that shit if I didn't play, right?
Yeah, totally.
I wouldn't know the Urdu Hindi if it wasn't for this game.
Totally. I mean, maybe since 0.3 on 2012, all the clans had their forums. The way to join the clans is for formal application. You have to format an application. Members give some opinions about you. They vote. I mean, all those things are just super formal. It's something that you won't expect from a community of a game of 2002. It's so different.
Yeah, compared to what you have everywhere else. Yeah, to be fair, I think this happened in San Andreas multiplayer too, right? I mean, this was
of course.
This was the same thing they had, which was the forum stuff. I'm actually curious where it came from. I don't know if there are any other video game communities, or if they existed where you had the same concept of applying on a forum. Maybe this happened like Call of Duty 4.
Yeah, of course.
Also 14 years ago.
It could happen.
Think it was similar. Yeah. So pretty much standard. Oh yeah. I mean, it's amazing that people were able to organize themselves into clans and then have their own forums and shit. So that was beautiful.
Comparing with San Andreas, this community is a little bit lower. I mean, it's of course we had minus players than San Andreas, but this community during these years it's been unique. I mean, all the players just hanging around all together. Discord communities, Discord clans. The people is pretty much related every time.
You mean now? I mean, I think this was the case back then too, right? Yeah, that's one great thing, and also a bad thing, that you cannot escape your past in this game, because no matter, because all the communities they are tied together. Everything is tied together. In SAMP, you might escape, right? Go to a server where nobody knows another. But here, everybody knows each other, and I mean, it's fun, right? It leads to cool conflicts that kind of it used to lead to conflicts that extended all across servers, right? Like we would fuck each other up in little whiteys, then go to attack defense, then go to capture the flag, and the more insane people will go to Argonaut RPG and roleplay, hating each other too. So that's one good side of having such a small community.
And regarding to that, which players you met in BCMP and since then is a friend of you that you actually have still contact?
Sure. So many, right?
but I mean, maybe contact in real life, for example. I know there are some players from Poland where you are from, and maybe you still have contact with them.
Yeah, so you might remember that for Vice 9 we borrowed the map from the Liberty City.
Yep.
No, sorry, it was LUDM, that server, right?
Yep.
So the guys there, it was like RWW, RVV is like the most known one, I think. He was, I believe I had a man there. But from Poland, I met him. I met some guys from that server as well, some of whom are my friends now. But when it comes to actually meeting people in real life, then that only happened within Poland. Although I might have some plans to visit somebody or some people this year or the next. But real life was only that within Poland. But I mean, I've met people that I've spent one night talking to sometimes, right? So they have lots of friendships. I can name them. Is that you want to name? You
can. You want to do it if you want.
All right. So, let me go from the start. Right, 2013, 2014. That's around when I for sure met Jackdaws or Revolver from TRC. Yeah, that and him and that other guy Yuri.
Yes, Yuri.
And Karan as well. I'm not sure if you remember Karan.
Yes,
from
of
India.
course.
Yeah. So these three guys. Oh, and there was also a guy called MK Detonator.
I'm not sure if I know him.
Yeah, he was from Romania, but he was a trainee at MK at the time. But anyway.
Good names. Good names, though.
Yeah. Def. Who is here today from then is, I just know Yuri. I'm not sure. Yuri is the guy who used the nickname a terrorist, and he was always playing with the rocket launcher.
Yes.
But I don't know if you remember that. Wait, what was I talking about? Right. So today, the people that I have most contact with is Jellyfish, Morphine.
Yes.
Then you've got Yuri, Bai as well.
Bai. You're still talking to Bai?
Yeah. I mean, a bit less now because I know he's more busy with real life at the moment. But like at the moment, I mean, the past month, because we talk pretty much every week. Like,
yes.
For the past 4 years, we talk pretty much.
I know.
Every week. Then there's also Riz, but a bit pretty much that's more rare. But we're in a group together where we talk.
Very nice.
And then sometimes it's Punk Noodle, but that's a bit more rare.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Most latest members that were active with you.
Yeah. There was a lot of people, but most of them are gone now. Or, the contact just kind of died out, like in real life.
It happened to me as well with you guys. And the last time, I'm gonna talk about SS a little bit. With Jellyfish, you and many others from Europe and Asia. I mean, 2020 was maybe the time that most of the players start hanging around all together. I mean, the community growed up in a huge way relating to people talking to each other. It was something very formal before on the forum, and people used it to join there, keep some posts, but there's no contact at all. I think the Vice War, for example, the Vice War 9 that we played together, it was one of the Vice Wars that reunite all the players all together, and many people. I remember our channel with 20 players talking to each other, and we spent like 3 hours talking. I remember with Jellyfish, you and me, what 3 hours spent alone. Do you remember?
Yeah, you just unlocked that memory for me because I forgot, but now I remember. Yeah, we did spend. I remember. Yeah,
3 hours for talking about BCMP.
Yeah. Shit, I forgot about that.
Maybe talking about some players as well, but with some names in mind. Which one? What do you have to say about your clans? The clans that you've been part? LK, TRC, DNA.
Yeah. Right. So LK, I'm gonna be honest, right? I mean, today.
Yeah, of course. We can be honest.
LK, and then similar with TRC, but LK, that was my first clan.
Yep.
When I came back. When I came to VCMP in 2013, I was like, nah, fuck it, I'm not gonna join any clans unless they're like really good. But Dadero. That was his name. There was Dadero and Niels, I think, in LK. They invited me. I think Dadero invited me to. Actually, was Niels in LK, or did I confuse something? No.
Yeah. No, you're right. It was Niels.
Okay, he was. Oh, okay. So they invited me to LK. I was there for a bit, and then I'll be honest with you. I think I mean it was Jackdaws, so Revolver, who invited me to TRC. I think with Morphine.
Yep.
And so I found some excuse to leave LK, and I did that.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I think everyone in the community did something like that.
Yeah. I was saying some shit like, they found my school project. They're gonna hack me if I don't leave. I don't know, some shit like that. But disgusting if you look at it.
Yeah, it's fine.
We was kids. Yeah. Then it was TRC. TRC is a bit more complex.
Yeah.
I stayed there, I think, a bit over a year.
Yep. Yes, a year. I want to ask you something about it that I found. You joined on January 2014 on TRC.
Right.
1 year later, some members left TRC. There's a name on there I won't mention. 1 month later, 1 day later, sorry, you are the co-leader or co-underboss of TRC. And 1 month later, you left TRC.
Yes, that's what happened. I remember. So I joined. I was playing there. I think. It was because at that time when I was in TRC, but this is not related to me leaving. I'm just gonna give some background.
Yep.
When I was in TRC at the time, we had the Russians, the VK group in VCMP. So naturally, or maybe not naturally, but TRC was implied that they were allied with VK, right? So whenever VK was there on the server, we would play with VK.
Political
now
things.
Me, yeah,
political things maybe.
And I'll tell you why. I wanna brag about it though, because I remember that around that time I applied to be a moderator in XE European.
Yep.
And I know the Russians wrote messages in support of me on that thread, which I don't think they did that for anyone else. I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah.
But 1 year later, I did get promoted to underboss, and I left a month later. And I'm gonna be honest here as well. I mean, there was one thing what led to me leave. Okay, no. So what happened was, from what I remember, there was some shady shit in the sense that somebody in the community at the time was making an aimbot, but it was not aimlock right now, because I think today's aimlock, it just makes your crosshair go to the head. I think that's how it works. But at that time, it was simply like you were shooting, and like you could shoot anywhere, but the bullets will go to the heads, right?
Just like Stormos when he did the 0.4 beta test or something like that about aimbot. You've seen his gameplay on single player doing like aimbots.
Oh yeah, I think I did. Yeah, but I forgot. I don't remember that well, but I remember it was something.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Anyway.
And somebody in TRC was testing that, and I really didn't like it. And at the time, somebody from DNA found out about it, and they knew that that person in TRC was testing it, and they were like, "Oh, fuck that! Why should you stay there and shit?" So they invited me to go to DNA as well.
Yep.
So I left TRC, and I don't know if I can say I took Eddie with me, but me and Eddie left together at that time.
I got that in my script.
And after we left, I think some time had passed. I think a month or two, and I had joined up DNA. So DNA is an interesting story. DNA was around the time 04 came out, because up until that point we are in VCMP 03Z R2. So when 04 released, I remember it was Darfy, because today I'm a good player. I mean, I think I used to be like one of the top. Today I'm a good player. We'll see in Vice War though. But when VCMP 04 first released, I was kind of average.
Yeah, you was.
But then Darfy gave me this tip about mouse sensitivity, and from that on, that's how I learned how to do headshots so well.
Yep.
And when we were in DNA, I remember we had a pretty strong squad at the time. I think these were like one of the top players. I forgot their names. Names.
Yeah, DNA was the clan that marked an era. I mean, all players, maybe experienced players from staff teams, developers.
Yes.
Marked an era on the BCMP.
It was like the retirement home, kind of. Yep. It was because today the retirement home is KA.
Yeah. You're right.
But that's like an extreme retirement home. The DNA was a bit softer because you still had skilled players in there. And my point is, we had a strong squad, in my opinion, and so I was kind of motivating people in the clan in DNA when I was in DNA to start some clan wars, because every old fuck in every game will tell you, "Oh, we used to be a lot more competitive. We used to play these clan wars and shit," and everybody fucking says that. Well, but I don't know if there were that many.
I think your last clan war on DNA was against BK, if I'm not wrong, on CTF.
No, that never happened.
That never happened?
I don't... I'm
you sure?
Pretty Yeah, wait, let me go through it chronologically, and then we can think. So, DNA that started with either MK or VU. Yep. I think we won that 6-0 easy. And both of them were 6-0.
Yeah.
Then we had a clan war against SS, secret players. And I remember that before the clan war, Nori, apply to DNA.
Yep.
And the folks were pretty much like no or neutral. But at the time, I'm not sure if it's when he was about to win VCDC, because I think VCDC, the dueling championship, was happening.
He won as DNA, I think.
Yeah, maybe. But the point is, I recognized. I mean, to me, he was a threat. Like, he was a really good player. I was like, fuck it, guys, let's accept him. And so we accepted him in DNA. And then we played that clan war against SS, which was 3-3, but then we played that additional map and it ended to be 4-3. So we won that one.
You won.
Yeah. So, but I don't think a DNA VK clan war happened. I'm pretty sure.
I think it happened on CTF, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, everything then was happening on CTF, but I don't recall playing.
Let me see.
I'm pretty sure it actually didn't happen. I'm pretty sure it didn't happen. I remember Tom was making posts like, "You will never be ready" or something. I remember something like that. So
that probably happened. Yes, you're right. Let me see.
Is it there on the forum?
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
Secret Slayers versus PL. Oh yeah, there's this thread. VK versus DNA.
You're right.
Yeah, it did not happen. Yep. Let's go back to DNA for a bit.
Let's go.
After that VK thing happened, I remember there was Vice 4-5.
Yeah.
And on Vice 4-5, we as DNA did not apply to any team specifically. Like, each member could go to separate teams, which I in retrospect, it depends what you want the clan to be, right?
Yep.
I think we had just different visions. But there was this drama where Nori banned Ferrari, who was also an admin, and in turn I banned Nori. So like, I banned my clanmate, right? And shortly after, the both of us were kicked from the clan. And I think I stopped playing for some time, like 3 months or something. I came back, I rejoined DNA, then it closed. I was still playing a bit, and
we have seen clans of BCMP since longer. I think many of them has great history talking about the time that they carry on BCMP. My greatest example of this is now the most active clan. They don't have much members active now, but BU always, it's been the home of new players of BCMP. Yes. The most receptive clan of the public, I think. One of the things that I always respected from BU is the promotion of the games. The events, making servers, especially for events. As I said, I wanted to talk about SS, Secret Slayers. A clan for me, when I was away from SS, founded by Latin players, only Latin players. Many of them just recognized by the community. And Niels, for example, Eddie. And this clan has a lot of rosters and tournaments, on leagues. And suddenly all the tournaments that played have won, except for that match with DNA, which we can say it was a draw. How you joined the clan? How you been invited to it? And which was your decision to make on say, I'm not even Latin, I don't speak Spanish, all these people speak Spanish around me, and of course they speak English, but mostly Spanish. And which was your decision to join?
I didn't speak English.
Yeah, you ate there. It was which year it was? 2016.
Wait, Eddie. Of course, I knew Eddie from TRC.
Yeah, of course.
Eddie was always Eddie was also a very funny person. He was always telling me that the match was a draw. There was there was no fourth map, and so so yeah, he invited me to join, and he said something like, I remember this very well. It's nothing important, but it's very funny. I forgot what he said, but like, he told me to put something in my app in the additional comment section, something about liking tacos, but that was in Spanish. He just let me, or maybe it was something sexual. I fucking forgot. But the point is, he invited me to join, so I joined, and I think, you asked me how it was around the Spanish players. I mean, Spanish-speaking players. Yeah, I think that was always like a bit of an not at that point, right, 2016 and so on, but near the end of SS, it was the source of some problems. The communication thing we had, but we'll talk about that later maybe. Like for me it was fine, right? Because I was accepted. I mean, I was always playing jokes with people. I was saying stupid shit in Spanish that I didn't understand. Bandera, bandera, you know. I mean, I know that means flag, but but I was always saying
fuck, you looked at me. I thought about it.
So we always had fun, and we are brother in arms, right? Brothers in arms. We were playing the events when needed. We had the same perspectives on things, like fuck the Russians, and fuck the cheaters as well.
Yes.
But it's true that with some members I didn't speak too much. You know, even like
I know. I mean,
SS,
also we. I mean, I never like talked to you many times while I was in SS. I mean, the last times of maybe our last year on SS. Is the last year that we talked a lot, but before that, probably minutes.
Yeah. You know, it's partly that language barrier thing. But also, it's like, well, you guys are talking Spanish already. I don't want to force you to speak English and shit. But that doesn't matter. I remember that after I joined, I think, I'm not sure on the timeline here, but we got jellyfish in the clan shortly after.
Those was the last times.
Yes, and then I know we got Bai.
Right? I think you joined.
Yes.
I don't know if Bai joined after you. Then I joined. Nico joined. No, Nico don't. I joined.
I think Nico was
I invited Freak from BU.
Yeah.
I invited him. Freak invited Nico, and those were the last Latin players that joined the clan. After that, started join Fulton, others Pakistani players. I mean,
we will get to that later, because that was that was the whole trial rank.
Yeah, thing. That was the last part of the clan. I mean, at the start of it, when I joined before, after you, I mean, Secret Slayers merged from all Latin players to the whole international. I mean, new players started joining, and there were respected players. I mean, that was the parameter, I think, of Secret Slayers. Without mentioning that Secret Slayers didn't have a leader, for example. Our leader, it was Eddie, but it was not explicit and a leader. And after that, I mean, during the clan, all those years with the clan, it was clear that the head group of it was Eddie, it was you, it was me, and at some point, I mean, the leadership of the clan was pretty similar to TLA nowadays, because we wanted to make it something similar. But I think that's the strongest part of SS. Each member has nothing over other members. We all have opinions. The same vote system that we had, it was pretty one no in application. It's mean Daniel.
Yeah.
That was something huge different that we have seen on other clans.
It was an interesting experiment for sure, and I think, you know, because this is also a historical concept where in the medieval times, you know, you had these royal people and shit, and they could say no, like one person could say no, and the whole fucking law or the bill would not get passed, right? That used to happen like 300 years ago. And, you know, this had its benefits, right?
Yeah.
But in practice, also, you're right, people will always, I mean, not the power, but like the people will concentrate around a specific group of individuals. And at one point, like the main people in SS, it was me, it was you, Eddie was inactive back then, it was Freak, it was Nico.
Yeah.
And I think, and sometimes we had Brai and Jellyfish as well. And the rest was just like sometimes joining, sometimes not. But it was mostly us, like in the leader functions. But see, I think, I mean, it's like the American experiment. I think we like the intent of the clan, right? At least from where like my perspective is,
yes,
we wanted to be the best. We wanted to be the best, and that goal, I think we achieved it. And honestly,
yeah,
I think
of course,
today,
of course,
we would, like maybe not today, but I'm very curious to see our performance 5 years ago against VK or somebody, And I think we even challenged them, but they refused.
yes,
Didn't that happen?
yes,
Like,
yes,
yeah, because I never played against them, so it's like one of those. It's like in boxing, where the fucking I don't know Mayweather versus I don't fucking know Muhammad Ali. How would that fight look? You don't know.
yeah,
So in a similar way, I never played against VK in a clan war setting, which sucks. But I'm coming back to the SS subject. So yeah, it was. We were the best for sure. At one point, we were the best for a long period of time. Most consistent, yeah, peak def, right? But then at the end, I mean, yeah, I'm not sure if you have the clan history. Let's go through it maybe from the beginning
yes.
to the middle to the end. But I'm not sure if you have the clan history there anywhere. Like we used to have this topic where we fucking said all our achievements, who joined when, and so on. I'm not sure if you have that.
Yeah, I have it.
Really?
Yes, we won multi-clan war SS TRC against MKVU. SS EAD League 1 champions, the first league of EAD X AD closed the server and Wilson made Evolution EAD. We won that unbeaten, to be remembered, unbeaten. CTF multi-clan war SS MK3-1 2 against TRC and BU. SS Freak won the VCDC 5.
Yes.
That was the first achievement individually for him. There we joined the Vice War as I don't know which team, because I think Vice War 8.
The Triumvirate, right?
The Triumvirate. Yes, I remember. We won that. Yes. I didn't play Vice War 8, but we won that.
Yeah, but Vice War 8 was pretty bad. So.
Fulton wins the event of Castagna in Extreme Addicts, same as Freak, and SS wins Vice War 9. And many other kinds.
Yeah, Vice War 9 was, I mean, we'll get to it, but Vice War 9 was the most, like, to me, Vice War 9 was life or death. It was so hateful. There was so much hate in that event. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
I was so motivated. I wanted to fucking destroy the enemy team.
Yeah, it was.
And it was real hate. But we'll get to that in a second. Let's finish the SS subject. So yeah, the clan had its peak, like when we had that balance of like Vice War 7. I think that was our peak.
Yep.
Vice War 8, I think we were a bit inactive. Vice War 9 was kind of the reunion. So I'm not gonna say that was our peak, but I mean we were at the top 2, but like the activity wise and performance wise, I think if you add these two together, then Vice War 7 time is the best.
Totally.
We just concentrated so many people around us with the Triumvirate team, and then we won that. So that was really pretty.
Yeah, that was.
Shout out to the underdogs. But clan wise, not for real, but clan wise, right? So that was the peak. Then I think as time went on, the tensions in the clan kind of increased between the Latin speakers and the Asian members we had.
Yeah.
And both sides contributed to it really, because we had some of our Asian players who were coming and saying, "Hey, let's accept this guy. I know him," and then like, and the Latin folks said this as well. Let's accept this fucking Kennedy R's. Obviously, I'm joking. We didn't want to accept him, but let's accept this guy because we know him. Yeah. And like neither side wanted to say,
"No, don't add this guy."
If you said no, then the other person will get angry.
Yeah, it was.
If you said no to this guy, then these guys will get angry because I don't know, maybe they fucking told him to apply, and it's gonna be shameful if he gets denied now and shit. So at that point, when we were a small clan still, that rule where we had like one no vote and that's it, then that makes sense for like a smaller clan of people with
Yeah,
more or less the same
it broke
beliefs.
a little bit. It broke a little bit.
Yeah, but when we were so big, what we did, and we did it, like in order to keep Black Clan alive, we did lower the standards for recruitment.
Yep.
And we kind of stopped. Like we still were the best.
Yeah, we still.
But before we used to be the best, and like you said, right? We had these respected players, known players in the community.
Yeah,
but
it was
at
like
that time,
a certain group of skilled, respected, and just that.
Yeah.
We call it
that time,
SS material.
Yeah, I remember that fucking term. Near the end though, we lowered our standards for like well-known. We started accepting people with dramas or just like unproven people, because like the ideal thing was to take like just steal full members from VU, steal full members from DNA, or steal people like Vrublix who have been on the top for long, right? This was like that. This was the goal. But then we started lowering the standards, and in the mindset of the groups, it kind of fucked us. And at that point, there was no way forward, right? And I still think that even in maybe not Vice War 7, but Vice War 8 and slightly before Vice War 9, there were people in the clan that like one person did not like the other person in the clan.
Yeah.
There was dislike between people in the clan, and that definitely should not. It was too late at that point.
Yeah, I understood that when Eddie said that the clan is not the SS anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
he mentioned that one time. I think it was you, me, Nico, and I don't know who else.
Mm-hmm. But it's a cliche thing to say, like, oh, like when you are about to break up with your girlfriend, or she's about to break up with you, she tells you you've changed, or you tell her you've changed. It's not the same anymore.
Yeah, but
it's the same shit Eddie says, It's like
for us, which was the member that were for longer time in SS, it was clear what Eddie said. I mean, there was nothing to refuse.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was.
And of course, as we said before, we had no leaders. We had no primary faces. But Eddie, for us, was like, if he says that, we have to respect
it. But like the no leader structure, it just doesn't work when there's so many people, and I think that proved it. And maybe we made a mistake by growing so much. The thing is, a clan like the Vice Underdogs, they have an ethos that they follow. They have a set of rules, of ideals, of values, and it's based in some really good Samaritan type shit. Help people learn. That's like their number one goal, and thanks to them, this game probably lives longer than it should.
Yeah.
But us in SS, like when you ask us what is our ethos, because what is our goal? It's to be the best. That's it.
Yeah.
Like it's not like
we
had a goal.
The priority was killing.
Yeah, exactly.
Killing is our priority.
Exactly.
It was the name of the clan. You are going to the point somehow.
Yeah. Like that was us, right? We just wanted to be the best. But at one point, like a Nuke from CTF, from MK leadership, Nuke.
Yeah.
He said it once that these new clans, they don't have trainee ranks, they don't have rookie ranks. How you gonna train new players? How you gonna get skilled players if no clan is willing to upskill them?
Yeah.
So there was, because at the time I think, and maybe always, like the Underdogs and Miami Killers, they were seen like this. The cool kids, they don't go to VU. The cool kids, they don't go to MK. The cool kids want to go to MK.
Yeah.
But who's gonna make the cool kids? Because we didn't want to do it. We did not want to do the cool kids. So like that was it. Like how at that point, that's it. Like we stole those players.
Yeah.
We stole those players already from TRC, from DNA. We stole them, and nobody new came apart from like 2 or 3 people.
I have
there
to say
was nobody to take from.
I have to say that the day I got promoted to VU full, Eddie invited me to SS and I left. I left VU.
You snake.
Yeah, I literally the day that I go promote, I just moved to SS. But
the same day.
The same day.
Damn.
But it was something that, I mean, it's a decision that I won't ever retrieve for, or I won't refuse it. It's Eddie. Eddie just created something that no one ever knew it could be possible. Maybe LK, for example, which is a clan mostly from Latin members that still exist.
Yeah.
But it hasn't on his story. It has a lot of European players, Asians, I'm not sure, but Europeans, and it merged to a Latin clan. And SS started with, I think, the most strongest player of Latin America, and suddenly came international, which was something that Eddie saw on you, Eddie saw on Bai, Eddie saw on Fulton.
No. When Fulton was joining, I don't think Eddie was there. I don't think he was there anymore.
Maybe I think he was on the first times.
I'm not sure.
But I mean, Fulton was a player that we have seen SS material, we can say now. He just show us for longer now. Yes, I think
skill-wise, definitely.
Most he's the best player in the community now.
Yeah, today the top 1v1 player for sure. I think he's the best 1v1 right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's finish the SS subject. So yeah, we had these conflicts internally, and like I'm not. Let me ask you, like,
yeah,
at that point, right? Let's say we had, I don't know, we had Spanish members not liking some. Sorry, we had Latin members not liking some Asian members we had, and the other way around. And I think even some of our more tenured members from Asia that might not have liked the newer ones. So how would you solve it at that point, or do you think it was too late, or how would you have prevented this from happening? How would you prevent that?
I think, as you said, we just lower the standards of SS. Maybe to switch it from a little bit more of activity, because SS was pretty going down in activity at that moment.
Yeah.
Vice War 9 was, I think, the peak again of SS. Not like Vice War 7, but our clan was already going inactive. I think
that was just like one last breath,
yeah.
Vice War 9 was like
yes, and I think we should maybe stay as before, but it's clear that those players that join SS at that moment, if we still have that SS limitless, for example, of saying, okay, one player vote no, this is a clear no, I think the players that join will still join the clan if we don't lower the limit or the standards. I think the players that join SS from Pakistan, for example, which are most of the players that are still on TLA now, that join all together, they founded the clan of TLA being SS, most of them. I think those players were SS material of those times. But I don't know. It's like the clan was already going to be inactive at those moments, so that probably was the barrier of saying, okay, this was the last players that played on SS. They were inactive, or the Latin players, or maybe, or including you, but you were active. Also me. But I think those Latin players, when they left, it's like changed the barrier or changed the focus of the clan and saying, oh, okay, this is not Latin anymore. These are the most Asian players that are skillful or are respected. I think we choose the Asian players very well. I mean, they still being the most respected Pakistani players, I think, nowadays. It's clear that now Pakistan, India, and Asia is probably the 50 or more than 50. I mean 80% of the community right now.
Yeah.
I mean it's pretty different than it was before.
I think at the time, when we were deciding on what to do, I think I said it or somebody said it that we have a choice. We either die or we lower the standards. And we just agreed to lower the standards.
Yeah.
So, but then, like we was kids and shit. But a clan is also some sort of structure that requires actual, management, right?
Yeah.
And we did not foresee that, the fact that there is no leader will lead to conflicts. We did not, and there were some minor conflicts, like when we had less people too, and we just kind of ignored it. And sometimes it solved itself, or it didn't.
Yeah.
But
you are petty right on that.
Yeah, we were ignoring everything at a certain point, and it just kept growing and growing until I knew that if I'm gonna have to, like, I knew at one point, like, oh, probably one of the Latin guys insulted Pakistan again or some shit. It's gonna be some drama. So that was it. That was the point. It was like, it's too fucking late.
Well,
but how we closed it? We closed it, right? I think. Yeah. Sorry. Go on.
The fact that I said before, we just probably talked the last year of SS. I mean, we had no contact before. In a clan that you probably have ranks or probably had another vision of, okay, I have to reach full rank and I'm trained. I will maybe approach the full members to ask what to do or what else. But I remember so far on the first years, probably the first 2 years of SS, had no contact with you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think I was active, right?
Yeah, you was. We both were actives.
Yeah, it was just like, we just kind of coexisted. That was one thing in SS that we kind of coexisted. Like there was not enough integration, and that did not. If there was more integration, it could have prepared us better for the tough times ahead.
Yep.
But that was not. That's okay. All right. So after Vice War 9, this happens, and then I think what we did was we challenged Vu to a clan war, and they kind of refused. So we closed the clan. That's what happened, right? I think that's what happened.
Yeah, there was an episode before that, and it was some players from the clan, casually from the same country, that were using hacks. We called them on the server that I was admin at that time, Little Whiteys, and I don't know which other.
I know who you mean. Yeah, he's in AC3 now, right? The guy.
Yes, of course, you are right. Well, we discovered them. We made actions, which was the thing that we had to do, and of course, the thing you said, we decided to challenge BU to a clan war, which was Juan's decision to make it. And they starting a hate, toxicity all over SSBU, things that happen in a game on rivalries. But I think it went a little too far on the thing of there's no solution to this. I mean, winning or not, it's clear that SS was pretty much competitive than BU.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, maybe that's how. Yeah, because like we would win. I mean, I know we would win. So
yeah.
it was like, like what?
It has no context, for example, and if I had to say, but about the departure of how we took the decision, I think, as I said before, it was a decision of the administration circle, we can call it. But it was like
I was pushing for it. I think.
Yes, I mean it was something that we cannot speak with all the members. It was something to decide. It was a decision of me, you, Eddie, and many others, which was maybe I didn't want to take the decision of saying yes, I want to close, or no, let's still. But it's clear that closing SS was not the expected thing that you should think.
Yeah, I remember. I think I was pinging Eddie on WhatsApp, because I had his number. Let's go clan. And I know he responded. So
we had a group, I think, of WhatsApp.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But that's how it happened. Yeah, and that was boom.
Yep. Well, one of the things that separated us with that thing was the aim log, as you said before, those testings, and when with a member of DRC, the majority of our members lost interest on the multiplayer mod, and I will use as a quote what we said on forum: cheating modifications were too easy to get at that moment, and we had something in mind that SS had like a history make, and we don't wanted to ruin it. Sorry. No matter who got
the
banned.
post is still there.
Yeah, the post is still there. Puma deleted
I wrote
the
that
entire
post.
forum. You wrote it?
Yeah, the
yeah, of course.
What the closing message? Yeah, that's one.
Yes. And I think it was a point break in SS as well. I mean, we didn't want it to stay in the community at that moment under an SS tag, because at every point or at somehow players from other clans or just clanless players were saying that all of our members were using hacks.
Yes, that happened. I mean, there were two. Like, one was the Kraken dude cheating. I think he cheated twice, by the way.
Yeah.
We re-accepted him. Well, whatever. And then once there was this leak from fucking Juan, this volume fix, water fix shit. I mean, it's a meme to me.
Yeah.
Like, who was this guy? We had this guy in SS. I forgot his name. I'm sorry.
Z22.
Yeah. Oh, I remember. I remember.
Yeah.
Like, some water fix. I don't know what that shit was. I promised you, when I joined, it was not there. So I don't know what it was, but it was pretty funny.
He was founder of SS.
Yes. But the file, because you know what screenshot I'm talking about, right? It was showing like
yes.
Yeah, volume fix and shit. I don't know what that was. Well, that was one thing that contributed to people saying we were cheating.
Yes, of
course. But until this day, I don't think we had, like, from the active roster or even the inactive roster, I don't think we had any cheating bans.
No.
apart from Kraken. I don't think there were any other cheating.
Yeah, the 3 members that we kicked was for cheats, but we kicked 3. I don't remember who else. I remember Krystianoo and Relax.
Fucking Relax! I remember.
Krystianoo also made it on Little Waities with Kraken, and Relax I think also made on there.
Yeah, I think they were playing under alias.
Yeah. But despite this, we managed to, I think, maintain the most skilled and, as you said before on the chat, the most loyal team in BCMP.
Yeah, def. I mean, at least we stood united in the face of adversity. Like, we never. Nobody could tell you that there were tensions in SS, because I think to the public we were always united. That was one good thing.
No matter if we had trouble into each other, somehow we just managed to fix it, and it happened many times.